planning out roster depth and who was going to be here for what, that you might not have planned on Quinn being gone for a month of the Gold Cup. With him gone, who fills in that 10 spot?
Yeah, I think it's up to multiple, we could have continue our 2-striker system with 2 10s, or we could flood it with 3 10s and a striker. So, I do feel we have created some depth in and around there. And I also think that, based on the Atlas game, it shows guys are coming along in a real good way. With Union too, so thinking Eddie Davis, Marcus Anderson, Cavan, Ben Bender, so there's been a few guys that have put their hands up and in a real meaningful way to be an option for us going forward here for the month.
Have you seen enough of Cavan to believe that he is ready to start a league game?
There's all options, right? He started in the Cup games, so whether that's the Cup or the league, I think he has the confidence of our group, and it's all opponent dependent. It's all what form he's in. I've always said it. We're not just handing out appearances and starts and what have you. Everything has to be earned, and everyone's on a real good track and a pathway to getting those successful moments.
Role-wise with Marcus, he got some play early last year, then had some injuries, didn't really feature a lot towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
Where do you kind of see him fitting into this mix in a new game model?
Yeah, we've always thought like Marcus has real tools, and I was a real big fan of him in preseason. And we just, we want to get a good couple months out of Marcus, and that's why we've been focusing him fully on Union 2 now, just to get the reps, confidence, routine, rhythm, confidence in his body. So he's getting to that point now where he starts being a real option for us, not just because we're thin, but thinking about he adds value. So, and I think there's been a lot of guys who, like I said, against Atlas, put up their hands in a real positive way, and took that game seriously and benefited thereof.
In terms of, you've now had a little bit of time probably to step back, I wonder what really stands out to you about May and that gauntlet that you guys ran so successfully.
Everything's kind of blurry. It's a really, ask me where it started and how it ended, I'm not sure.
That's kind of why I'm asking, because it blurs for me too, but as you kind of, are there big picture themes that you see that come out of that?
I just see cohesion, I just see spirit, team, fight, mentality, like everything we spoke about, what defines the Union and defines this building or defines us as a group. I think we've seen it in the month of May, and that's been awesome to watch. There's no prizes for halfway through the season. There's no silverware, hardware, anywhere. And I can't buy, I've always said, a loaf of bread at the bakery with 17 games done. So we have to perform, and really, the business end now is the next 17 games, and it starts now on Saturday.
So what were your takeaways from Cavan, Sal, CJ, David, Andrew, Frankie, all the youth national team performances during their call-ups?
Yeah, one thing is to get experiences with us as a first team, and then you go and be role models down at lower age groups, and to play and represent the country in the way that they did was massive. I mean, every player had a big contribution, and it just shows that we believe in a certain way here at the Union, and we appreciate the game time that they will be getting and representing their countries, and we fully support it, and we actually feel that the players grow from different experiences being outside these borders. So going to Egypt or going to Spain or what have you just gives you a different level of experience, and being around different quality of players or different style of players, we feel that brings the players forwards in their development as well.
And then with the international break now behind in the added time, I noticed Jan didn't dress for the Atlas friendly. Any update on his timetable, and then also how are Mikkel and Ty doing?
Jan is still progressing. We've seen him on the field now. He's running around. We slowly introducing the ball to him, hopefully in the next couple of days. But we got past that hump of hopeful, and now we're just trying to give him time to get ready and feel really confident in the best way possible. So, for me, there's no date on that really. We're assessing it and seeing, but it's not any time now in the next near future. Yeah. And who else? Sorry, your second question. Ty's in Israel. He's got a couple of appointments, on the side there that he has to honor, and he used this opportunity now to honor that. So for us, he's getting his treatment there. We have good connection with the national team and with the doctors there that he's chosen to use. So he's progressing in a really good way. Mika was out on the field today, running around. He still feels something, but it's not a setback. He's just progressing as usual. And I think we still have a bit of credit in terms of the days we expect these guys back. So I still think, they're 10 to 12 days away, maybe. Yeah.
All these youth national team guys who were traveling, what they would have come back, I guess, yesterday, are they all figuring to be healthy and ready by Saturday?
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Is there anything on Neil's progress with his knee?
Neil's been amazing the last couple of days. He came on against Atlas and showed a level of intensity that we haven't seen before, and he's matured in the last 3 months, I would say. So all the reps he's been getting, plus the training with us, and then maybe the break with his knee, just to shift perspective and progress, and just kind of channel his inner drive and not motivation. He's a pretty motivated kid. He knows what he wants to do, but just to understand exactly at the levels we need to play at. And I think he's shown that in training. He's been excellent, and he played a really good half against Atlas.
He had a bit of a long night on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he's obviously got a while before he gets back. But do you at all worry about his confidence and his ability to put a night like that behind him before the next game?
Yeah, I don't. Listen, as a soccer player, you want to play your next game. And if I lost a soccer match as a coach and I didn't bounce back, and then I'm like, have I got worries about standing in front of the group and presenting my case to play the next opponent? No, I think every player, has a right to have a night, or a team has a right to have a night like that. But it's about bounce back and as collectively as a group. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not focusing on Nate, and they didn't lose the game because of Nate, right? So, I mean, he had some really good moments as well. Don't get me wrong. So, yeah, we're excited to put our guys on the map. We're excited for them to get these experiences, and we're doubly excited to get them back soon.
So, Coach, what sticks out when you look at your opponent on Saturday? What sticks out the most? You think is going to be the biggest challenge?
Yeah, experience. They have a lot of experienced guys on their team. They have some real weapons, and I would say players in the final third that can produce change. For sure, they're out. Ajiman, which I think in anyone's roster, it's a big loss. And I think Tim Ream's an excellent leader in the locker room as well. So, there's two pieces there. We have our guys we're missing. So, again, it's who's balancing, their roster in the best way possible and trying to get these guys fit and healthy. And, after a little mini break, just to get ready again for another game day and pick yourselves up. Pep Biel, I think he's excellent. Technical between the lines, can finish both sides and brings others into play. And, I think the competitive willingness of Zaha down the left-hand side brings an edge to their game. And he sometimes using an edge, you sway momentum in a certain way, right? Whether you pick up a foul or whether you make a challenge or whether you have a good moment, he has that ability to, magnetize the team in a certain way with the momentum. And that's what we have to break. We have to stop the momentum, especially here at Subaru Park, where we've had pretty good reps about, breaking down good opponents.
And also, when you took the job back in January, did you think you would be in first place at this point this season?
No. I mean, listen, again, like I just said, it's nice to be in first, but it doesn't mean anything match day 17. Did I feel we could be competitive? 100%. I think, and this is not a program about I or me. We believe in us and we, but it's interesting to see over 3 years now of being competitive as a coach and feel that the game model supports the style of play that we are doing. And I think here at Philadelphia Union, with the alignment top down, bottom up, for everyone to be on the same page and the players to be fully invested and enjoy the process about being this type of a player in this game model. I think everyone's thriving. I think everyone's values have gone up, in the game model. So I think right now that we're enjoying the first 17 or enjoyed the first 17 it's about now resetting and cleaning the sort of flip chart. It's back clean. There's nothing on it, and we have to reset and refocus and go again.
We'll do John, and we'll do one question on Sue with Joe Tansey.
I would think that you might have some visitors on campus over the next few days, not only from Chelsea, but a few other places, and they might take an interest in some of your players and what's going on over here. What do you want them to see?
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, we have a very important game against Charlotte, and we have to pick ourselves up after the week that we've had and after the 6 weeks that we've had. But then there's the mandatory five-day break with the league. So it's kind of staggered, disjointed again a little bit, but it's about picking ourselves up now. And then, I want the guys to get out of my hair and just get away and be with their families and spend 5 days doing things other than soccer. But, for now, there's a big focus on the next 2 days and what we have to do here at Subaru Park. And listen, I think, these guys have garnered a lot of respect throughout the league. And we hope it's, with the game against Atlas, it's maybe, gone outside the borders again a little bit. But we're nowhere near where we want to be. And I think the only way to do that is to compete for the next 17.
And last question will go to Joe Tansey.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Good, and you, Joe?
Good. Just to confirm, I think you said with Mikel and Ty, is that the 10 to 12 day?
Yeah, don't quote me on, really, before the next 2 weeks, I'm not even thinking about them. If they start progressing within the next 2 weeks and then spend another 10 days getting ready, I'm not sure of those timelines, and I don't think they're at the same sort of status in terms of who's sooner or later on the field. I think they are varying as well.
To that point, then, I assume Chris is going to have a little more of an elevated role. You've given him starts and put trust in him. What have you seen just as a whole from Chris so far this year, and how he can partner Bruno with those two guys down?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows or would love Chris for all his effort, hard work, commitment to the team, and just selfless running and sprinting and closing down and pressing on the front foot. He deserves to be having 5-6 goals, right? No doubt about it. But what he's done for others, I think about the build-up play in Montreal, the hold-up play, the aerial ability, what he brings to the table. I think Chris knows exactly his role in the team, and he understands that role. And I think he embraces the role too, and he thrives and revels in playing these moments when he gets chances with the team. So, we don't discredit him, and we don't disregard him for doing the unnecessary stuff, right? So for us, it's very necessary, and it's a big part of our game model. And he brings out the best of our game model sometimes in the transition.
All right, thanks, Bradley. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.